What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing a relatively interesting topic that has been linked to the Chicago Bulls over the last couple of days. I'm not sure if this is the right person that the Chicago Bulls should be bringing into this team, but nevertheless, rumors are rumors, links are links, and we have been linked to Blake Griffin from the Brooklyn Nets, a relatively older player, ladies and gentlemen, someone that, if you know me, I've been watching, when I started watching basketball, that Blake Griffin was at probably his prime in terms of the NBA. He was a fantastic player back in those days. Is he that type of player now? Obviously not. Can he still bring something to the Chicago Bulls? Potentially. We're going to be discussing Blake Griffin in this video, the positives and the negatives of bringing him in. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not they could, I guess, A, make Blake Griffin a success story on the Chicago Bulls, and B, I guess, show everybody or prove people wrong if they were to bring in Blake Griffin, because I think without a shadow of a doubt, his last season with the Brooklyn Nets, playing 56 games, was one of the worst seasons he's had in a long time, if ever, to be honest. And a lot of people are seeing that this player has probably declined a lot due to his age and the injuries he's sustained and everything of that nature. It's a very difficult time if you're Blake Griffin to probably hear these types of things. And maybe the Chicago Bulls would be the team to give him a chance to help prove himself out of that situation. I'm going to be talking again about those strengths and negatives. But with 56 games played, I believe for the Brooklyn Nets, I don't have the exact stats with me, so bear in mind that if I do get some of them wrong. Average around 6.7 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 1.9 assists per game. I'm not sure his field goal percentages or three-point percentage, but the one stat that I do remember is rim protection. Of course, when I see Blake Griffin, I know it's listed him as a power forward every single year, but I think he's played a lot of center as well in relation to the last couple of years. A relatively undersized center. Yes, he can still play power forward, but I think on this team, it's going to be very difficult to see him play as a power forward. We'll have to wait and see, but 0.3 blocks per game over this last season. Now, we have a couple of our guards that average more blocks than that per game. So not a rim protector, not really a good defender whatsoever, even for that center position. So you're kind of bringing Blake Griffin in for the offensive potential he might have for this team. And that's pretty much about it, in all honesty. But looking at Blake Griffin, what can he do well? Obviously, bringing him in for a veteran minimum, he's going to be a very cheap player. If that's the case, that's the rumor around, that we're trying to bring him in for the veteran minimum. I think that's very decent. Again, Blake Griffin a year ago averaged around 10 points per game. This year averaged 6 points per game or something around there. So again, it's a drop off, but maybe he can pick himself back up and have a better season than what he had last year. So on a veteran's minimum for a guy averaging 10 points, that could potentially work for the Chicago Bulls. I think he's a good guy to have around the locker room. I know many people might not agree with that, but I think he does have, I guess, decent leadership. Not just leadership, I guess you could say, but I think he's just a good locker room guy. I think many people like Blake Griffin around the league. But at the end of the day, is that really what we're going to bring into the Chicago Bulls? Here's what I have to say. In terms of bringing in versatility, I don't think Blake Griffin is versatile enough for this Chicago Bulls team. I think a lot of our guards are very versatile. I think we're trying to improve our wing versatility as well. And even our center versatility, we try to get a little bit of small ball in there, a little bit of big ball in there. We're trying to be versatile in that way as well. When it comes to Blake Griffin, I see him playing as a power forward in some instances and playing center in others. So I guess there's some versatility there. But on defense, I think he's not really great in both of those ways. So the versatility of Blake Griffin is probably put into question straight away coming into this team. That's the first thing I have to say. Secondly is obviously, is he on the decline? Is he going to get worse from here? Is he going to get worse on this Chicago Bulls team than when he last was on the Brooklyn Nets? And we're bringing a lot of players that look like, at least from what I've seen, has development in them. Again, we've got Patrick Williams on the team, someone that is playing power forward at the moment. Obviously, we still need more power forwards. Some of the center options that we were looking at are 24 years old, 25 years old, some of them even 22 years old. Again, development in them. They're making an impact now, but they could develop even further. And then obviously, you got some of the rookies that we brought in this year as well. Some of them are forwards, some of them are forwards and guards. At the end of the day, there's a lot of development in there. There's a lot of players that can reach better potential. Blake Griffin is already a made player. He's getting up there in age. I'm not sure if he could be a development player. I don't think he will be a development player. I think we're bringing him in to make an impact now. and how much of an impact would he make compared to other players on this team? I think he could do a better job than what Derrick Jones Jr. did on this team, or what Troy Brown Jr. did on this team. And I guess if you're going for a veteran's minimum and someone that might not see the court that much but can make an impact when he's playing, then I think that's fine. But if you're bringing him into play as part of the bench rotation constantly every single game, I think you're going to see a couple of those weaknesses really shine out of Blake Griffin, unfortunately. And again, I like Blake Griffin. I think Blake Griffin's time with the Los Angeles Clippers was fantastic. He was one of the best players at that time in the league, and how highlight reel type of team they were, the Lob City team and all of that. Then obviously I even think his time with Detroit was criminally underrated. I think that's where he found the way to develop other moments of his game, develop a post game, develop a mid-range. He even extended out to the three-point line. He could dribble as well. He did a lot of good things with Detroit. Obviously their team wasn't built to win, and Blake Griffin was supposed to be the answer to that, but he wasn't. He's not a first choice and not a second choice on the team anymore. But I think his time with Detroit is underrated. But with Brooklyn, we've seen as a role player, he does have some weaknesses, and that's something that you're going to have to take on with Blake Griffin. If you want to see the good parts of Blake Griffin, you're going to have to welcome in those bad parts. On a veteran minimum, I can't say I'm going to be over the top angry if we sign Blake Griffin, but I am going to say is that he's probably a player I wouldn't necessarily play every game. I don't think he suits every game on this team, and we'll have to wait and see how that goes. I still think he could still dunk and stuff like that. I feel like people are saying he can't dunk is getting ridiculous at this point, but again, maybe he could be a lob threat, maybe he could be a post threat, stuff like that. But I do think you see a lot of weaknesses in Blake Griffin, which is why I'm kind of questioning the move of what the Chicago Bulls would do with Blake Griffin. So again, for a veteran minimum, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to sit over here and cry that we're going to get Blake Griffin if we do get Blake Griffin. But I am going to say I do question it at this point in time. I hope that it probably won't be true. But at the end of the day, I'm always a guy that's going to support a player when he comes into this team. And all I can say is if Blake Griffin does come to the Chicago Bulls, if AK sees something in Blake Griffin that others do not, if they could get the best out of Blake Griffin, because I think Billy Donovan is one of those coaches that will let players play with freedom. If Blake Griffin does play with freedom and he does have a great season with the Bulls, then again, AK knows what he's doing and we all look silly. But if this is something that's going to happen, I hope he doesn't necessarily see the court that much, and I hope he's going to be a locker room guy more than just I guess playing 10, 15, 20 minutes per game and trying to do a little bit too much. I'm not sure. At the end of the day, I really don't know what to say about Blake Griffin, but hopefully you enjoyed the video regardless. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Again, let me know in the comments below. Blake Griffin has always been one of those guys. Again, I did love watching him growing up, watching the basketball at that time. That's when I started, obviously, with the D-Rose and all of that. Blake Griffin was definitely part of that as well. You can't deny how great he was at the time, and I really do think his time with the Pistons was underrated, but I just don't think he makes sense with this team. I think there's teams that are more suited to him out there. I just don't know if the Bulls are the one that really suits him, and if he really suits the Bulls. I just don't think it makes sense. I don't think it's a match there. But if I'm proven wrong, more than happy to be proven wrong. I've been proven wrong before. I very much will be happy to be proven wrong again. I hope if Blake Griffin does come here, it's a great time. He does incredible things. He's a great bench player. The Bulls fans start to love him. I hope it's a match made in heaven. I just don't think at this point it is. So, have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.